Hello everyone. Today I am here to share my learning experience with WebStackAcademy of MERN Stack internship. During my recent internship, I had an opportunity to delve into MERN Stack development and WebStack development technology. Throughout the internship, I honed my skills in MERN Stack development, gaining hands-on experience with MongoDB, Express.js, React.js, and Node.js. Despite encountering challenges such as debugging complex code and integrating different components, I perceived and successfully delivered high quality solution. I am immensely grateful to my mentors and the entire team for their unwavering support and guidance throughout the internship. Their mentorship not only helped me navigate through the technical challenges but also encouraged my personal and professional growth. I am thankful to collaborate with them. Now let us see the explanation of full stack web development. The process of designing and developing both the front end client side and the backend of website or application. A full stack developer is a person who can develop both client and server software. A person who ever took care of the front end is known as front end developer, and a person who ever take care of back end is known as back end developer. Generally the front end consists of user interface and the backend take care of the business logic and the work application flow. We use HTML, CSS, JavaScript for front end, and we use Django, Java, Python, PHP, Node.js in backend. Generally, the client visible page is front end and the backend consists of database. Whichever data is coming to us, it may be in the form of database. Now let us see the MERN Stack development. The MERN Stack development is the process of using the MERN Stack used to build the web application. The MERN Stack is a JavaScript-based framework made up of MongoDB, Express, React.js, and Node.js. The stack is used to create the front-end, back-end, and server infrastructure for web application. Then, what is the meaning of MERN Stack? Now let us see the abbreviation of the MERN. M stands for MongoDB, E stands for Express.js, R stands for React.js, and stands for Node.js. MongoDB. MongoDB is a document-based database and Express.js is Node.js framework. Now let us see the explanation of MongoDB. MongoDB is the most popular NoSQL database and open source document-oriented database. The term NoSQL typically means a non-relational database that does not require a fixed schema or proper relational tables to store the necessary data in it. The MongoDB stores the data in a different format other than relational tables consisting of rows and columns. It implies that MongoDB is not based on the table-like relational database structure. On the other hand, it provides an altogether different mechanisms for the retrieval and the storage of the data. Now let us consider the RDBMS and MongoDB. In RDBMS we are also having the database, and in MongoDB also we are having the database. In RDBMS the tables are the collections in MongoDB and rows are the documents and columns are the fields. The table consists of the values and the rows consist of documents, columns are the fields. Now let us consider the Express.js. Express.js is a small framework that works on the top of the Node web server functionality to simplify its APIs and add helpful new features. It makes it easier to organize your application's functionality with middleware and routing. It adds helpful utilities to Node HTTP object and facilitates the rendering of dynamic HTTP objects. Here we are having the request and response. Whenever we send the request to the thread waiting express.js, we will have the response. That's known as MongoDB. The response is to the TCP IP layer. The MongoDB consists of the database. Then it will retrieve the old data which we are requesting. Next, let us go into the React.js. React is a free and open source front-end JavaScript library for building user interfaces based on components. It is maintained by the Meta and a community of individual developers and company. React can be used to develop single-page, mobile or server-rendered applications with frameworks like Next.js. Now let us consider the features in React.js. Third-party packages, new features impact, version upgrade, clear documentation, responsive design, and code quality. Whenever we need to create the project, first we need to create the React app. After that, we can start coding about the project. Code quality and third-party packages includes the React.js package. Node.js. Node.js is a free open source cross-platform JavaScript runtime environment that lets the developers create servers, web apps, command line tools, and scripts. Node.js is an open source cross-platform widely used by thousands of developers around the world to develop IO-intensive web applications like video streaming sites, single-page applications, and other web applications. And we use Node.js for speed, ubiquity, data streaming, database queries, real-time web applications, single code base, proxy server, productivity, and effective tooling with the NPM. Now let us consider the architecture design. The architecture design consists of three layers: client layer, business logic layer, database layer. Client layer is a layer which we are using. The users are the client layers. It is like a front end. And the business logic and is the express application where that will manage the request and response of both from client and server. The server means it is a database layer. It consists of MongoDB database. It is a database server. The server which deals with the logic layer is application server and node server, and the server which deals with the database layer is the database server. In front end, actually we used some programming languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. This can be of desktop or mobile application, which we are seeing the web page from our side, like some paragraphs, images, videos, etc. This client will send the HTTP request to the logic layer. Then the node server and application layer will send the data request, means what are the data we are requesting, it will send to the database layer. Then the database layer fetches the data which we are requesting and gives the correct response to the application server. Then the application server acts as middleware between client layer and database layer and sends again the response in the form of HTTP to the desktop or mobile to the web users. For example, if we consider searching a WebStackAcademy in the Google, it's the client request we are sending. It will in the form of HTTP request in Google, and it will go to the database layer through logic layer, and it will give the images and whatever the text reviews about the company, anything or internships. That's are the MongoDB database which consists of about the WebStackAcademy, and it will give the data response, and the data response is converted into HTTP response by the application server, and we can see the images, videos, everything unstructured data in the our web page that is developed using HTML, CSS, what are we are. Client layer is the user functionality where we can watch anything, upload and download. Whenever we are asking something, it's known as uploading or upstreaming. And when the server gives something and asking, it's known as, and we are downloading, it's known as downstream. Coming to my project, WebStackAcademy has given me the opportunity to develop a Homely Hub app using MERN Stack. Homely Hub is a platform that lets the people find and book unique places to stay while traveling. Whether it's a cozy home or a fancy villa or a room, you can experience a personalized stay. Hosts can also earn money by sharing the spaces, so explore the world with Homely Hub for a unique and comfy adventure. This internship project made me really helpful in working with that, and I learned very useful technologies of MERN Stack and WebStack. Now let us consider the features in my project. First one is user authentication. User authentication means it's like a security or login page, logout page. When we want to explore something and we need to book ad or anything, we need to log in and log out. It's like account creation, search and filters. For example, if we want to see only particular places, we need to search. We want only places in Goa, we need to search destination as Goa, and then the places related to Goa will display. View listings, filters means based on price range, property, room type, amenities. It will select and show the display. Property listings, booking system, we will have booking system. Based on that, we can select anything like which place we are wishing and how many guests we need to have, and at how many nights we need to stay there. User profiles, and everyone can create And we have payment integration. When we need to book a place, we need to do payment, right? Then this payment integration is through the Stripe. Responsive design. Responsive design means when we develop a responsive design only, we will get the correct request and response form, because we need to send a forget password. Then we need to receive a mail. That's the request we are sending, and we need to get response. If we book something, it need to display. That's the request and response form. When there is no request and responsive format, there is no single application with delay. Now let us see my skills I gained from this internship. And I gained the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and how to create a React app and start my project, and integration of backend and frontend. Backend is MongoDB and frontend is the Visual Studio Code, which I developed with HTML, CSS and JavaScript languages and the packages, JSON format, DOM manipulation, sending and receiving emails using MailTrap, online payment using Stripe. Sending and receiving is maybe for forget password using, and online payment using Stripe means by giving the card number on CSV card number, expiry date, we can do the payment. It's just for a sample purpose. We can do the payment using the Stripe. So I'm really thankful for giving me this opportunity to learn the skills. Now let us see my project technologies I used. React.js, Node.js, Express.js, MongoDB, MailTrap and Stripe. These React.js, Node, these are the main applications of the MERN Stack, and we know that MailTrap is for receiving mails. And thank you MERN Stack internship of WebStackAcademy. Now let us see my project in the Visual Studio Code. Firstly, we are having so many files like booking files and user profile, app.js, etc. And we are having frontend, backend and database. Backend consists of MongoDB. We need to run both the frontend and backend simultaneously. For that, we need to split the terminal in two sides. One side is to develop the front end and another side is to develop the backend. Now let us see the MongoDB. In MongoDB, we are doing the Homely Hub project and we need to display the properties. We need to go to the properties, and here is the list of properties, property name, etc. in the description format. Now let us start by running the backend. npm start. Actually, we need to give cd frontend, cd backend, because first of we need to have the folder of backend and then we need to give npm. By mistakenly I am given npm start. Now let us see cd frontend, cd backend, cd backend. npm start. After giving cd backend, it will be in the backend folder. Now we need to give npm start. See, that app is running and db connection is successful. Okay, backend is connected with using MongoDB and the database provided. Now we need to go for front end. For front end, cd front end. To start that one, we need to give npm start. See, now let us see the project we developed in the front end page. This is the Homely Hub website where we are having search, destination, start date, add guest, filters, everything we are having. And the upper section is known as header section and the footer section is known as footer. And middle we are having databases, which project, which places we need to book. Now let's explore the project by considering all the properties we developed using the MERN Stack in that project. That's the user profile. For login, we need to use email. We need to enter the email and password. When we are new to the website, we need to go for new user. As I already created the project and login, so I can log in with my own credentials. If you are new user, we need to use new user. Now let's see the my profile. For editing profile, we can edit the name and phone number and avatar, whatever we can keep, but it's specifying some size. below that range we can keep the profile and just click update. There's the profile is updated. Now let us see the change password. For changing password, we need to give the current password which we are having, and the next new password, and the next new confirm password. New password confirm. All the password and new password should match, and my bookings are the bookings which we already booked. It will show the list of the bookings we booked and its cost, place, everything. My accommodations is a place where we can add something our own place or whatever booking we can provide to other people and earn money. We can add new place by giving some images and the description and the what are the facilities we are providing and the what is the price. Search destination, I already told this feature. Search destination, for example, we need to see the Goa places, we can search Goa. See, the place related to Goa is showing, and the start date, end date, add guest, how many guests we need to have. See, Goa, Carnival Library, luxury apartments, description and the facilities they are providing. Now let's consider the booking of this place. We need to give start date and end date, how many days we are willing to live there, stay there. So 1200 per night for that place. The cost is 1200 per night. And how many guests? Here the maximum guest for this place is 4, so we need to give less than 4. If we give greater than 4, it will give a warning like we need to give below 4, and we need to give the details. As it is for two days, it's showing 2400. Now let's start booking. Book, and we need to give the card number. For project purpose, we can give the sample card number with that 424242 and expiry date, anything. Card CVC, anything 3-digit number. Now click on the pay 2400. It will do the payment. Generally, I said before, for payment we need to use Stripe. Now let us see the payments in Stripe. See, the place is booked 2400. Now let us consider seeing the payments we done before. For that we need to go to the Stripe web page. See, it's loading slow as my internet connection is less. We need to sign in. If we are not signed in before, we need to sign up and then next sign in. See, there are having home, payments, balances. Now for checking payments, we need to go to the payment. Now we need to go all payments which we done before. See, 2400 succeeded, 3400 succeeded. What we are doing, payment method is to by using card number, and it's showing succeeded status as we completed all this booking. Now consider my accommodations is the place which we are providing. When we need to add new place, we need to click new place, and property name describes the name of the property, and the photos we can upload. Minimum photos are 5, and description and the type of property, room type, and the amenities means the facilities we are providing. Extra info means description. Now let us again go to the home page. My account, log out. Now let us see the forget password. See, when we forget the password, we can just click on forget password and enter our email, send email. For our project, we need to use MailTrap for receiving the mails. Sign up before with the mail, and we will have a reset link there in inboxes. Go to inboxes and check on that. We will have the new message. See, the reset password link, it will expire before 10 minutes. Click on reset password. We need to enter new password, and we need to enter confirm password. The both passwords should match each other. Then if not match, it will show error, and we need to click on set password. Then the new password is confirmed. Then we can log in with our new password. See, let's show. start entering the password. Set password. See, the password does not match, means we are not giving the same password in password and password confirm. If we give both, we can change the new password. Finally, this is the project we developed, and search destination filters. In these filter means something new we are applying, means for some people we are need to have above this price and below this only. For that we need to search everything and see the price. By applying filter we can only see that price related only. If we not found that features, which will simply show properties not found, and we can select property type and room type and the facilities we want. If it's not matched, it will simply show property not found. Okay, if it matches, it will display the properties having the above features. See, property not found.